and welcome to Friday Fun. It's going to be an interesting time today. My son is over here in the living room or in the area here trying to get a charger so that my computer doesn't die. Um, I have to have it plugged into a charger now, and it just so happens that it has one port. Okay, so what do I plug this in? Okay. Hold on one second. For those of you who don't know, we've had some computer woes here. My trackpad on my laptop is kind of like, it's like another limb for me. It's like the fifth limb that I really need. And it's with me everywhere I go. When I do most of my writing, it's in my big chair with my laptop and my little beanbag desk on top of that. And anyway, the trackpad just up and died this week. So for those of you who've been waiting for responses on Facebook and everything, I'm sorry, but it has not been a pleasure to work with a computer without a trackpad. So I've got a temporary mouse here plugged in to the side, which makes it a tabletop. Okay, I'm complaining now, so I'm sorry about that, guys. It really has been a very good week. It's just been really challenging, and I feel like when I get into IT problems and sticky situations like this, I feel like I turn into a kindergartner having a tantrum. So I apologize for that. It brings out the worst in me, and you can ask my son and husband about that. That's just the time. I try to be very patient, but when it comes to electronics having rule over me, it gets really frustrating. But anyway, I hope you guys are having it. I mean, these are like first world problems. You know what I mean? I mean, I have nothing really to complain about. God has been so good to me. And the weather is changing to poncho weather. Yay! So I got my poncho on. I got a poncho back on the model back behind me there. I am really happy about this. Well, let me go ahead and say hi to you, and then I have some really fun things that I want to show you. Um, we have wanna be crocheter or knitter. And thank you for waiting. You were the first one in there. Thank you for being so patient. I saw that comment there about, I guess, 30 minutes before we even started. We have Margita and Charlotte and Proverbs 31 yarn. I'd like to see some of that yarn. That's some pretty good stuff. Let me go ahead and mute this. And let's see. We have Anna, Lena. Um, oh, thank you for your sweet comment, Anna, Lena. She's from Sweden. Wow. Well, let me go ahead and I'm going to refresh this screen again in all the commotion. I just want to make sure that I'm really live. Okay, I see a commercial, so that's a good sign. Let me just make sure that I'm really here. Yay. Okay, looks good. Um, and I just clicked on something and, okay, lost the sheet there. Oh, thank you, Archer Nace. My goodness, you brought us up to, I believe we're up to 20 or 30. I'll have to go check from last week. Let me go ahead and write that down. Thank you for contributing to our super chat, which you know goes towards another song. I do have one in mind. I just have to work one up. Or I may have to just recycle one if you guys don't mind. Maybe you've forgotten some of those. But thank you for your generosity there. I know that the the charities can really use it these times of the year. Oh, we have Kelly, and she says she's watching from Tucson. She's crocheting an aster flower doily for her mother for Christmas, and she loves doilies. How kind of you! That's really sweet. We have Olivia, who says greetings from Waterford, Ireland. Well, thank you, Olivia. Wow, that's I have to look that up to find out where that is in relation to the coast and everything. We have Leanne. Um, says loving the new mystery throw, also doing Abigail Shaw in between squares from cloudy and dull Isle of Wight. Probably only dull because you are familiar with it. I would love to visit your island. And we have Eric from Israel. Thank you for typing in the English word there. I love to see the writing of your language. I just don't understand it. My daughter-in-law really loves things like that. She has necklaces like that. She's been to your beautiful land a couple of times and has spent a lot of her life studying biblical history and whatnot of Israel. Um, oh, Kelly wants to know, when is your book signing? That was actually last Saturday, Kelly, in Columbia. But if y'all ever want to have another one, just let me know. You just have to tell me where you are, and if there's a store in your area that would like me to come, you know, just have them get in touch with me. I don't mind, considering things. I may not be able to do everything that's available, especially if it's kind of on my dime. But if it's somewhere like on the way when I travel, I could probably schedule my travels around that. So just let me know. I've got plenty of books and lots of signatures left. If you wanted to do something like that, that would be a lot of fun. The one in Columbia this past week was not highly attended, but the people that were able to come, we just had a really great time talking. A really, really nice long chat, and it was really fun. And it turns out I'm going to be um, doing a 30-minute or so class for a crochet club. It's just kind of I guess more of a pep talk at a local school, high school in Columbia, coming this week. So that'll be kind of fun for me to just go and meet some of the new crafters and new kids who want to get into this craft. So I'm going to do what I can to convince them that the crochet is the thing to do. Um, Katie's having trouble with the typing. I totally get that, Katie. A lot of times I'll be typing to somebody and you want to start a new paragraph or something and the thing just goes. I'm so sorry you're having trouble with that. Um, I'm glad you're here, my friend, and you're in good company if you're having trouble with these computers, because yeah, I've already fussed about mine already. But actually, I love my computer, and partly why it's dying is I use it so much. I use it a lot, and I think I downright killed the thing. And it's kind of funny. I think it overheard the fact that I ordered another one to replace it. And I am not kidding you, within a day of ordering this new computer, this one started really going belly up. And then my editing computer wouldn't boot enough for me to get Safari to watch the chat on today. So that's why the last minute Hudson was helping me getting things so that I can. There's only one port on the computer. I'm using a Lapbook Air. There's only one port where I can either plug in a mouse or plug in the charger, but not both. So he had something that he added for me that's a port so that I can do more than, it's kind of like a plug. You can multitask here with one port. So thankfully, the next one I'm getting is going to have multiple ports on it so that I can go back to doing things the way I used to. And I'm looking forward to that. Kelly said, my sister Patty's dog Rocky went after my puppy. Oh, that's sorry. Sorry about that, Kelly. Sounds like you're having doggy problems there. Um, Going back to Katie's comment. Wow, sounds like sounds like you're really busy making a lot of things, Katie. That's great. Slipper boots for your mom, slipper socks for your baby girl, a couple of scarves, another blanket. You sound just like me, just busy, busy. We have Sandra Clausen in the chat. Hey, Sandra, and Alana, and Terry Redmond. So glad that you could be here. Let's see. And we have Barbara from Poland. Wow. And Terry says, praying all is well. Yes, by the grace of God. Well, they're actually, we did lose somebody. We just found out this morning my husband's cousin um, passed away from COVID, from complications with COVID. So we don't know how. I won't say too much about that. We were at her house. I mean, not but a few months ago for a family reunion. So it's a really, really sad time. She was a real woman of God. Offered lots and lots of hospitality. So if you want to, think about the family, I know it's going to affect Hannah and Grandma Barker a lot more. So we're just on standby right now. So if things kind of change a little bit with the scheduling, that's probably why. But if you can just be in prayer for the family, that would be, for the extended family, that would be great. Um, Again, a wonderful woman. I know I'm going to see her again. No doubt in my mind. Sweet heart of a woman. Um, please pray for her husband. I won't give the names or anything, but he is also recovering from COVID, so it's been a really rough go. We have Heather from Bel Air, Maryland. She says, "Beautiful day here, and glad to be live with y'all again this week." Yeah, Heather, I guess we're not too far away over here in Gaithersburg, and the weather looks fantastic. It's just nice and cool and clear and beautiful. Um, so it's great. We have Swati. Hey, Swati from LA. She says, "I'm woefully behind on the mystery cow, but I will get there in the end." Swati, there's no rush, I promise. Even and if you guys are kind of freaking out about, oh, she has the deadline of December or whatever, December 1st for turning in the pictures, um, even if you're not finished, just send a picture of what you have. Just fill the frame with some of the squares that you have and send that, okay? So we get an idea of the color. It doesn't have to be an absolute, totally completed picture. So I don't want my schedule to be freaking you guys out, because this is supposed to be a joyful journey. And I know that some of you are very busy, and I know that with the holidays approaching, it's only going to get worse with the busyness. So this is something that is really supposed to be a joy to do. So don't feel rushed by this and by my schedule. Just take a picture of whatever you have, even if it's just a single square. I promise you, I will put it in the slideshow. Okay, so don't 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 get an ulcer over this. This is supposed to be fun. Okay, yeah, it's okay, Swati. I know you're not freaking out or anything, but I just that was just a triggered a reminder for everybody. But yeah, take your time, and I know you're very busy and a hard worker. So this just enjoy what you can, and just send me a picture of what you've got. Just again fill the frame with the colors. I can crop anything out that you need me to, so we can work with it. I just want everybody to feel included with the slideshow. That's the main thing, is that you can show what you want to show. We have Tracy Hamilton. She says, "It's about to storm like crazy here." Wow. I don't think we haven't had a storm in a while, and it's been kind of nice. And Katie says, "Quick question for anyone. I made slipper socks, and one came out perfect, and the other came out an inch wider. Anyone know why?" Wow, that's a great question, Katie. Um, it's really interesting. There are so many variables. Let's bring out that eighth grade math word, variables. And in the project, it could be that you got looser on your crochet. It could be there are more stitches. But if the stitch count, I'm assuming the stitch count is the same. It's possible that if you used a different hook size, maybe, or even if you have two different brand hooks, that'll make the gauge a little bit different too. So um, that's a really good question. But there are so many variables in these things. Um, let's see. Yeah, Tracy says stitch counts off. Oh, yeah, Patty from Vegas. And let me go ahead. Hannah's sending me a text here. Let me go ahead and bring that up. I had this all set up on the big computer, Hannah, but then Safari and Google Chrome would not boot, wouldn't start up for me. So I don't understand what's going on with that. Okay. Hannah says, "Renee Williams would like to know what the name is of the poncho you're wearing. She'd like to buy the book that it's in." Oh, wow. Well, thank you, Renee. This is called I think I call it the Sapphire Alpaca poncho or something like that. It's in this book, Cable Crochet Made Easy, or you can buy it as a PDF. The PDF and the books have the videos for this. This is not on my public channel. They're just some things I wanted to keep kind of off to the side so they don't get bootlegged immediately, if you know what I mean. Um, where is it? Okay, here it is. Sapphire Alpaca poncho. And here's a picture of my beautiful friend Stephanie wearing this poncho. Okay, and I have to show you this picture that I took when I was in Ireland. It was on the Isle of the Inisheer, which is one of the Aran Isles. So anyway, it's in this book, and just to let you all know, if you're looking for an early Christmas present, either for yourself or somebody else, and you want a personalized book with want me to sign it for you, I do have these in my Etsy store. There's a video link in the video video description below. So I have quite a few books there, including the new leaflet, if that's something you're interested in. Not trying to be sales pitchy or anything, but just to let you know. They're also available with Amazon and I think Walmart.com and some other places if you're not an Amazon person. Um, Wanda Bigelow asks, do you have a pattern for the arrangement of the squares? I'm guessing for the mystery cow thing. Um, I will show you a photo um, the last week of what I did. Uh, I I I haven't written that part of the pattern yet, believe it or not. But that will be coming out as week number 6. I will show you what I did. Um, but I don't think you necessarily need a specific direction because you might want to do something completely different than what I did. Mainly because the color selection of your squares might require a different arrangement. Um, so if that makes sense. So I'm not trying to sidestep your question at all, Wanda. I think that's something that you might want to look at from an artistic point of view once you get finished. Because I thought it would be a lot easier for me to do what I did, but when I put them together, it took me a while. It took me a while to rearrange them on the queen size bed because they did cover the entire surface of a queen size bed when I finished. So I had had to move things around a little bit because you probably, if you have warm and cool colors, warm as in I'm thinking more reds, yellows, oranges, and if you have like cooler colors like blues and purples and greens, and you want to try to disperse that in a way that looks attractive and also considering the design of the squares. So um, everybody's may look a bit different, and I think that's kind of the goal. Um, and I'm sorry I'm not very helpful, but you will have a picture of what I did, and you'll be able to see what I did on that. All right. I keep using my trackpad and it's broken. Let's go ahead and I'm going to keep on going here. See, parts of the trackpad are broken and parts are not. Let's see. Yeah, Katie, I hope things work out with your slippers there. I know that's got to be frustrating. Yeah, and Swati suggests, maybe your tension. Um, yeah, sometimes the tension can vary, especially if you're using new yarn or something that you're not that familiar with. Oh, we have Dolores in the chat, and Jackie, and Lisa Fitzgerald, and Catherine Cunningham. She says it's a beautiful day in Yellville, Arkansas. Yes, love that name of that town. And let's see, a lot of people are suggesting, great suggestions there to Katie. Tracy says it happens to her a lot. Yeah, it's just the way it is. There's so many variables in this craft, and that's why I get a lot of questions from people saying, I want to make this smaller or bigger, tell me how many chains I need to make. And I'm like, that's a calculus problem. Really, because I don't know, because I don't know you, I don't know the yarn, your hook, how big you want it, how small you want this. And yeah, that can be a really 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 sticky wicket, as they say in the UK. Sandy says she's watching and working on a baby blanket for friends, expecting a baby boy. That is wonderful. That was sweet of you to do that too, Sandy. We have Dolores Craig. She says waiting for my takeaway dinner. That sounds good. Let's see. We have Carrie in the chat and Susan AB, and thank you, Hannah, for being there to be our moderator. And I just want to let you all know that Esther is not going to be able to be with us because she is continuing to work in her new job, and she did text me this morning and said, please tell everybody I said hello. So on behalf of Esther, she says hello, and she really misses you all. She was going to try to, maybe catch a few minutes at lunchtime if she could, but she wasn't sure she'd be able to. I told her just take a break because you need it working with all those young kids. Um, and I know she's a great blessing to them. We have Jacqueline LaFridge, Tracy Hamilton. We have Robbins, Nest, Nest of Crafts. Okay, sorry, all the words, the letters run together there. It's hard for me to read that. Okay. And Renee Williams from Maine. And again, thank you again, Archer and Ace, for your sweet donation there. Looking forward to sending out another donation. Um, we have Lorraine. Way back to Lorraine. It's good, so great that you're here. And Laurie and Myra. Um, thank you all the way from Egypt. Wow, that is amazing. I hope I get to see your country someday. That would be great. I was actually just reading a little bit about Egypt this morning, but in a very old book. Um, and oh, thank you, Kelly. She says, I like your shawl that you have around your shoulders. Are you going to do that shawl on a tutorial? This one, there is already a tutorial. It's just not on my YouTube channel. Excuse me. It is available through the purchase of either the book or the PDF from my Lovecraft store. But there is a video. But again, like I said, it's part of the book or the pattern. But thank you. I'm thinking about maybe releasing another one from the book, but I need to give it some thought and see which one I think might do well. And if I did do that, I may want to redo it anyway. So it's been a while. Linda says, in Maine, it's been very brisky October days and raining every night this past 4 days. Wow. Linda from Portland and my puppy Stormy. Aw. And you said Portland, yeah, Portland, Maine. Wow. I love that. Love it up there. My son actually, one of my sons honeymooned up in Maine. He just it was last fall. So they delayed their honeymoon so that they could wait till when the leaves are going to be, at peak. So they had a great time. We have Joanne Jack from Canada, BC, and Melanie from Philly. Hey, Melanie, not too far from us. And Carolyn. Oh yeah, hey Carolyn. I'm not used to seeing your whole name written there. Carolyn, so glad to see you in the chat. And you guys, if you're in the Columbia area, sign up for a class with Carolyn. She has this fabulous, easy beginner, really cushy cowl scarf thing that she's going to be making. It's like a big wrap thing. It's really, really great. So definitely sign up with her. I'm really excited for you guys if you get to take a class with her. It's in Columbia, Maryland. I think the address is 6656 Dobbin Road, and in Columbia. So check it out. All right, so I'm just trying to not miss anybody today. If I miss you, I promise it's not intentional. I got a lot of things to cover. But let me go ahead and look at some of these things on my list here. If you have any questions, specific questions about the crochet alongs for squares number 1 through 3, you can let me know. I don't know if I'll get to them in the chat today, but definitely post on Facebook if you can, because that way we'll get the community talking about it. Or you can always just contact me, BonnieBay@me.com. That's right. I rattle these things off so quick sometimes that I forget what I'm saying or if I'm even saying it right. So please do that. On Monday, square number 4 comes out. It's this beautiful lipstick pink color. I think that's the name given to it by Lovecrafts. Really pretty red, pinkish red color. I have it down. You'll see it. You'll see it on Monday. And it is going to be easier than square number 3, I promise you. There are no working behind anything. It's all front crosses, no back crosses on the one coming out. So you can just use your imagination what that might look like. And another idea I had, I thought if you were wondering what to do with these squares, and you just really don't want to make a whole blanket or a throw. You could get some thinner yarn. I haven't tried this yet, but I'm going to try it this week. I might even work up another tutorial for a new design. But the paint box, this is 100. Let me make sure this is 100%. Yeah, 100% cotton. This is a DK weight. This is a thinner weight. This is a very different quality than, let me grab this. I'm not saying better or worse. I'm just saying very different than the, this kind of stuff. You know what I'm talking about. This is the peaches and cream that you can get from your local Walmart, but really any big box store. Excuse me. So this is a worsted weight, and this is where you make. I'm going to show you something using this kind of yarn in just a minute, but this is very different. This is much more refined. Feels a lot softer. Just an upgraded quality, really. That would be great for like a spa cloth, something or a washcloth, for maybe even a special gift for the holidays. I'm not exactly sure how many of these will be needed, so I need to work one up for you to let you know. But this is just an idea. I'm thinking, yeah, I can maybe make some, nice little cloths and give to family, or just when you want to have a quick gift on hand, you want to bless somebody, but you don't have time to run out and maybe spend a lot of money. But just a thought. But let me show you another item that I intend to make up. I'm going to try to come out with a tutorial so that you'll have this in time for quick Christmas gifts. And this is using the thicker cotton. This is a two-sided, so you have two pieces and they are crocheted together with the knurl. And this can be used as a real pot holder. You will not get burned with this. Well, if you're careful. It's very thick, it will be great for that, or it could also be a hot pad where you put, a pot on the counter to keep things from, the counter from scorching. I'm one of the people who don't have those, don't never got the, what do you call it, the granite countertops and all that. I still have the old fashioned uh, formica kind of stuff, and it stains and it'll burn if you put a really hot pot on it. So these, I use these kinds of things all the time, or like little trivets, that would be another word for these. So this is something that you could probably work up in probably 2 to 3 hours. I'm guessing. I'm trying to be a little bit liberal on the time estimate there, but I'm thinking within 3 hours or so you could probably make one of these, or easily make one in an evening. So, but I'll go ahead and work this up and have this tutorial. It'll probably be coming out probably during the early December month, sometime early in December, just so that you have, something in your back pocket that you can whip out if you need to in a hurry, or, um, you know, but I also have a video. I should probably put a list together for you all again, but a list of quick gift ideas. So if you go to the playlist of my homepage, hit playlist up across the top, and it'll bring up all sorts of categories. And there is one that is quick crochet gifts, and you can click on that. And there are already dozens and dozens of ideas of things that you can whip up with just the yarn that you have at your house already. You don't have to run out and buy anything. Okay. Um, oh, and I have, while we're on to new things. Okay, are you guys ready for this? This was fun for me. This is a one. Remember last week I was talking to you about Bernat yarn? Well, I still like this stuff. I really do love the yarn, and I have a project coming out. This is the label for those of you who are not familiar with the Bernat blanket yarn. I don't have a full ball to show you, but this is what I have left over after this project that I'm going to show you. And this is a pretty easy beginner project. It's also a quick and easy project. And before I show you, I'll tell you that I did this in less than an hour and a half. Okay, it took me a little longer as far as the design process and trying to work some of that out, but actual sit down, hook in hand, start crocheting, an hour and a half. tops, and that's including sewing on the buttons. And if you are an absolute beginner but you know how to do the stitches already, assuming you know how to do a single crochet and a chain and a slip stitch, those are the only things you need to know for these projects. And let me show this to you. These are wrap scars. I'll show you the white one first. It's using the seed stitch, and I put some buttons on the end. And so what you can do, there's no limit to what you can do. You can wrap this around yourself. You can wrap this around yourself a couple of times, a big fat cowl. And you can button it anywhere, because with the seed stitch, these little 1 1/8 inch buttons can come through anywhere on the scarf. So, for example, if you just want to wear it as a cowl, as a single cowl with a long scarf, okay, you can just bring it around here, and you can, I'm doing this really fast, so I'm probably not going to do it right. You can button it down along the side if you want. You can bring it along the side. If you want to wrap it a couple times, you can. Let me go ahead and try to do this. As you know, though, these things are kind of finicky. And if I'm in front of the camera, of course, it's gonna it's gonna do something. But anyway, you can bring this around. However, and it feels really good, and it's nice and squishy. So it's not, there's enough fabric there to keep you warm, but there are enough holes and everything to make sure that it still stays nice and squishy. Well, I had a lot of fun with this one. And if you want to make a shawl like this, all you need to do is just like double or triple the number of stitches. But do keep in mind you'll need more yarn for that. But I was just thinking something that an easy beginner can do from start to finish and have something to show for it in a short amount of time. I also have a version with, and I just love this yarn, with one big button, and I do show you how to make buttonholes. And for beginners, again, all you need to know are single crochets and chains, and I show you step by step how to do buttonholes, and you can learn how to do a buttonhole of any size. So you can take the information in this video that'll be coming out. It'll be coming out next week in the middle of the week. I'm going to try releasing this a little bit later in the day on next Wednesday. So if you want to be looking for this. Anyway, this one is just so much, this is just so much fun to, I'll just go ahead and put it up here. You can put the button up on the side if you want. I mean, there's just no end to what you can do with that. Isn't that fun? All right, but I'm going to take it off because it's not as warm as that here yet. Definitely wear a poncho. Oh, it's funny, I've been wearing the poncho inside, which tells me that it's a little bit cooler outside. But I'm not ready for the scarf inside yet. So anyway, I hope that gives you something to look forward to on new designs, and something you can take a break from. I mean, I know you probably watched lots and lots of other channels too, but it's nice to have a break from doing a huge project at times. And that's what's kind of fun, to have a couple things going on the side. Let me go ahead and see if there's anything else I need to deal with. Hannah hasn't sent me any more questions, so I'm way behind on the chat, so let me just look and see if I can. Oh, we have Freaky Geek in the chat. Hey, Freaky Geek, so glad you could join us today. And let's see. Okay, am I getting more? Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Renee. Renee likes it. Yeah, on the Christmas ideas. Yeah, very versatile is what Catherine says. Yeah, it is. I think, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything. It's a very simple design, and that's the one thing I like about this yarn, even though it has a lot of knots in it sometimes. I mean, You just have to deal with it, I guess. But it is such nice, cushy yarn. I did notice that Lion Brand has their version of it now, but it's in these really big $26. I mean, the ball of the thing is like in a cake, and it's like this big. And I really hope they come out with smaller balls of that, smaller hanks or whatever. That would be really great. Hey, we have Lori M. Hey, so glad you're with us, Lori. Um, oh, Hannah's talking to Katie about, I guess she says she has her husband can fix anything. Yeah. Um, Freaky Geek. Okay, she's saying, indeed, blankets and our sweaters are a must. Thanks, Lynn. Hey, Lynn, I'm so glad that you're there today. She says that's a cool scarf. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's an easy breezy, something you could probably do with your eyes closed and one of your arms tied behind your back, Lynn. um, but it's just, sometimes, especially after doing something that takes a lot of concentration, sometimes it's just nice to do something a little mindless with your hands. I enjoy just easy repeat things sometimes, just to relax. Um, and let's see. Okay. Oh, Lisa says she likes the scarf and pot holder. Great. Yeah, I gotta start filming the pot holder this week sometime. And what's really neat about these is you can make different colors and you can make them to match, your kitchen, or just make them in strong neutrals to really match anybody's. Oh, we have Rachel. She said, this is my first time seeing your live stream. Currently making the mandala throw in Princess Merida colors, if I said that right. I'm so glad you're enjoying that, Rachel. I hope it goes well for you. Um, yeah, Freaky Geek. Are you having trouble with technical stuff too? um, yeah, yeah. This has been one of those weeks for me, but hopefully that'll be changing in the next. Still have to wait a couple more weeks till my computer gets here. So, just waiting, 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 very patiently, right? Well, maybe. Jane Scott wants to know. I'm sorry. Tracy wants to know, have I decided on a hooded cowl with buttons pattern? I am looking at that, Tracy. I am looking at that, and I need to just look and see what kind of yarn I have left in my stash from other projects. But I definitely have that on my radar. Don't know that it's going to happen before Christmas, but it might be a great after Christmas thing. Um, I just know my schedule, and with the possibility of funeral travel coming up soon. Don't know about that if we're going to be traveling or not, but I need to just wait and find out. It would probably push it back past Christmas. And besides Christmas, the month of December um, is not a really good time to release new things because people are just very preoccupied with the holidays, which they ought to be. Um, so anyway, uh, Barbara is in our chat says, "Ooh, fluffy, super fluffy. That would be a great gift idea." Yeah, and you know what, Barbara? They have a lot of amazing colors of this blanket yarn, and they have baby colors out now, which I think the yarn is the same. It's just it's more pastel type of colors. But I probably stood looking at the yarn for 20 minutes just trying to decide what would be a good color, and I did the white one already because I had the yarn on hand, but I need to make another one. And so I got the purple, but then it just so happened that I came home and I found that big purple button in my stash. I believe I got that at Joann's many years ago, and I know they think they still have those. But I just love those really big buttons, and if you flip them around, they look like a coconut shell on the other side. But I just love these big buttons, and kind of wearing them off to the side, I think makes them look really chic if I can try to do that once in a while. um, oh yay! And Jane says she's finishing the lacy summer stole. Well, Jane, you can still wear that in the fall. Great. And Hannah says, With a scarf, you're either not warm enough or you're burning up because it's too hot. uh, yep, yep. Gotta have both options. That what's really nice about a scarf or a poncho. You know, you just take it off if you get too warm. And let me show you something else you can do. Okay, with some of these ponchos is, you know, you can take them off if you're in a restaurant or something if it's just a little too warm. And you know, you can well, I'm not going to do this very gracefully, just like I would do sometimes with jackets. You can just, you know, put it over the back if you want, you know, or just maybe make it lit. You can actually maybe pull it out this way. It's not as neat. That actually works better. And, you know, put them over because that way you have a little bit of coverage, but you're not, you know, totally, you know, totally heating up. But since it's a little chilly in here, this is going back on. Okay, I've got stuff in the back. Yep, got stuck on the chair. All right. Well, let me see what else we have here. Oh, we have, is it Hala? Good to have you in our chat, Hala. And Dawn, she says, what do you think about making that scarf with the big button with latte yarn? Oh, in the color latte. I guess if that's what you mean, that would be really nice. Freaky Geek says that if you like coffee, you could drink while you craft. Haha, yes, latte. Okay, and Barbara Nance, thank you for the information. She said that Lion Brand's version of this yarn has just as many knots. I don't know, you know, maybe it's just the way the stuff is manufactured. I think it's all manufactured in Turkey, if I'm not right, if I'm not wrong. Ugh. Let me look at the label. Okay, where is this made? It may even all be made in the same place for all I know. And I am not finding it on the label anywhere. That's made in China. Okay, so who knows? I mean, it may be all made in the same place, even and just sticking different labels on it. I mean, I don't want to assume that. I shouldn't say that, I guess. So I take it back. Take it back. All right, so let's see. Is it Tamay or Tamay Morton? Well, welcome. I hope I didn't say that wrong. Oh my goodness, we just got a $50 donation. Oh my goodness. From Peggy. Peggy, thank you so much. That bumps us up to like $70, I believe. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to being able to donate that. And just to let you all know that I know that some people have mentioned in the past that there are some charges. I mean, that I don't know. I don't know how it works with the super chat, but I do whatever is donated, 100% of that does get donated. I mean, whatever is put in the super chat, that does go to me, and that goes to a charitable organization. Usually, the latest two that I've been focusing on the most are Rancho 3M, which is an orphanage and Christian school in Guadalupe, Mexico. I've been there. It's a real place. It's a great um, charity. They're doing a really excellent work there. And the other is Shriners Hospital for Children. And we have a couple of people, Esther, Bobby, who are in our chat, who have been patients there. They never get charged. And they do mostly orthopedic kind of surgeries and things for children. And my mother-in-law was a patient way back in the 1920s. So we feel very strongly about those two organizations. So thank you so much for your generosity. That is huge. Well, let me go ahead and show you some more goodies. Let's see, what else do I have? Okay, this is from Banshee Fiber Arts. I bought these at the yarn. Was it? No, it was the yarn. It was called the Trunk Show for Banshee Fibers, and I got these beautiful stitch markers. And if you're doing the crochet along, you know how valuable these stitch markers can be. I didn't have quite enough of them actually to go around all the squares, or at least the kind that I liked. So I decided I'm getting some more of these and I'm going to use them. But look at this yarn that I got. I got 3 of them. You're going to see this probably in the new year with a brand new design. It's going to be a scarf or shawl of some sort. I already have the design in my head. I know what I'm going to do. I just can't wait to work with this yarn. It's hand dyed by Carolyn from Banshee Yarns, and she's local. She's from Columbia, Maryland. She does have an Etsy store. It's just called Banshee, Banshee Fiber Art Studio. Well, anyway, the reason I got this yarn, I just love the color. I mean, I should do something for the fall, but I know I'm not gonna. Yeah, I could try to rush something out, but I don't want to do things that way. I want it to be done right. Um, this is a fingering weight. Each of these has approximately 400 yards. This is 6. Okay, listen to the content of this, and it feels so great. I'm sorry, superwash merino wool, that's 60%, 20% yak, and 20% silk. And she says this is going to have tremendous drape, and I can see that it is. It's not going to be nearly as stiff as, as a fingering weight, although I do enjoy 100%. I'm working with some merino superwash fingering weight yarn now, and it is a little stiffer than this, but it's still going to have plenty of drape once the item is blocked. But I am really looking forward to this. This was definitely an investment on my part. This was not your Walmart special, I promise you. And looking, I just like looking at that. I can imagine when I start crocheting with it, it's going to be amazing. Um, Oh, she wants to know the color. She doesn't have. Um, she says it looks like paprika on camera. I don't know. The beautiful thing about the way the natural fibers take the dye is it's varied. There's going to be not speckled, but it's just quite a variation. And I asked her what was the name, and she says she doesn't give her yarn names. I guess because each time she does a particular batch, it's going to be unique. I mean, it's really, I know a lot of dyers do um, have that, and they have their formulas and stuff. But even when they have their formulas for dyeing, things are never exact each batch. So if you're going to buy some, you have to kind of buy, I guess, you have to just kind of look at it and see if it looks good, or buy it in the same batch. But even then, there's just a lot of variation with the kettle dyeing. It's what they call it. And that's why for many years we had, even now you have to be careful buying industrially dyed yarn. Is the dye lots can vary from the huge batches they do, from even though it's all computerized and everything is assigned a dye lot number. And trust me on this, you need to make sure if you're making a large project that all of them have the same dye lot number. If they don't, you're going to see that yarn, that scan of yarn, it's going to stand out differently in your project. You may not see it with your eyes right at first. How do I know this? I've done this by trying to buy enough yarn at a store for a project, and I thought, well, it's just 1 or 2 that aren't the same dye lot. It shouldn't matter, right? Bring in digital photography, and all you need to do is take digital photography and just a digital photograph of it, and it'll stand out like a sore thumb. I promise you. So not sure how I got from here to there, but anyway, just know that there is a lot of variation in the specialty yarns. But um, if you look on her site, I'll see if I can try to put a link to her site later on, and just tell her. I mean, this is not a paid endorsement or anything. This is just telling a friend where to buy nice yarn. So I will try to. Um, I'll put that in after the chat, so you can take a look at it. And yeah, and it's the yarn that has the merino yak silk combination. Okay. Lynn says not Walmart special. Lynn, Amen to that, sister. Lynn, I guess what I should have said, you guys remember the old days of Kmart and the blue light special? I mean, when I was a little kid, I used to remember they used to have a literal grocery basket or their shopping cart, I guess it was, and they had a long pole and a spinning blue light on it, and they say, over in a store, the blue light special for like, 3 minutes or until the basket's empty, and everybody would run to that part of the store and try to buy something. Yeah, but I guess Walmart's the store I go to for just about everything. Grocery. I don't get everything there, but it is definitely a helpful store. I just don't buy my yarn there too much. I do buy some, did during the pandemic, but just yeah, I try to do something a little nicer at times. But again, I use all the stuff. I don't want to sound like too much of a snob. I don't want to be that, but I'm open to everything. Um, okay, Katie says, what's this little knits? Freaky Geek says, I've recently found out anything that's on sale at the Walmart store is sold out online. But what's interesting, Freaky Geek, is Walmart also has, on the flip side, Walmart has a lot of stuff online that they don't sell in their store. They sell my books online at Walmart. Who would have thought it? I mean, I accidentally stumbled upon it, and I'm like, my Amazon books are at Walmart? Really? Of course, they don't have them, out there to see or anything in the store. Um, but but yeah, they're on a lot of things online there. And the lighting kit that I used, you can see in one of the polls here. I've not been able to get that out, but I have a couple. I have a boom light and some other big lights in my studio here, which makes it really easy to just film and not have to pack everything up all the. I just leave them set up, and it's a pretty nice set. I got them at Walmart.com, and it was one of the best prices I could have found anywhere, and they delivered it to my door free. So I'm like, I'm not going to argue with that. I mean, there are a lot of good things that they do have there, and the convenience is definitely welcomed in my stage of life. Ah, anyway, um, we have Harriet Cutter. Hey, Harriet, it's so good to have you in our chat. She says, I'm sorry I'm late. Well, I'm sorry I'm so late seeing that. And I hope I didn't miss a bunch of people's names and stuff. I'm just reading what's come out. Um, okay, Terry Redmond says, check out the Little Knits website. They have brand names from around the world and cheaper prices. I will have to do that. I've not looked at that before. Um, Little Knits. Hannah, can you write that down or remind me if I forget? I'll definitely want to take a look at it. Katie says, I'm going to check that out. I started a blanket for my husband a year ago, and I can't find the same yarn. We even looked online. I don't know the name. I did throw away the wrapper, though. Yeah. Um, well, you might be able to find a complementary color and continue. I mean, I don't know what kind of a design that is, Katie, but wow, I wish you the best there. That's really hard. Um, all right. We have Mimi Cat Do 65. Hey, that's a great name. She says hello to everybody. Um, oh, and I just got a bunch of comments load. I'm so sorry. Freaking King says, the only thing I recall about Kmart is my mother used to get knee highs in plastic eggs. Yeah, the legs. Yeah, that's funny, Freaking Geek. Well, actually, Kmart years and years ago, used to have a really nice yarn section. They haven't in the last 30 years, but when I was a kid in Hialeah, Florida, they had yarn and they had crochet patterns. Yeah, everybody had it back then. It was great. One of my favorite stores to get patterns and yarn from was Zayre, Zayre. They used to have big letters, Zayre. Then they would all flash together. They're like the size of like a one-story size letters. How do I remember that? I was a kid looking out the back seat window of my dad's car, and I would just be mesmerized by the lighting patterns. Even then, numbers and patterns and shapes have always intrigued me. So, yeah, call me weird. But it's finally paying off with crochet. Um, wow. Robin's Nest to Crafts, Nest of Crafts, sorry, says she remembers the blue light special well. Yeah, good old Walmart or Kmart. Yeah, it's funny. I have to tell you a funny story about my mom too. I don't think she's looking down in heaven, probably just shaking her head at me and gonna laugh, but I hope laugh. But she used to always put a. Now I can't even think of the words right. She would get the words Kmart. She would say Kmart, Walmart. She would say Walmart. Is that right, Hannah? She used to always say them with the wrong consonant on the end. And she used to say it so much that you can see I'm getting confused thinking about it. She would say, yeah, let's go to Walmart. I was like, Walmart. She never got it. But then I think she would say it the wrong way just to kind of tease us. And so, yeah, Hallmark. Yeah, thank you, Hannah. She says, and Hallmark. Yeah, Hallmark. I can't think of it too much because then I start getting confused and then anyway, I kind of miss that, don't you, Hannah? Well, maybe don't miss that part of it, but yeah, she's up in a better place now, and Hannah says it was so annoying. Yeah, but you guys were teenagers. Teenagers always get annoyed at everything. So, but anyway, um, what time is it, guys? Oh, it is getting late. I wanted to show you something though. I want to show you a couple more things. Um, I put this out on my Facebook page this week. I just wanted to remind you there is still time, if you haven't already, to complete your Christmas tree skirt. So I have this pattern. It's in my Lovecraft store. This is my Erin Christmas tree skirt. It's called Bonnie's Erin cabled Christmas tree skirt or some ridiculously long name, but this is what it looks like. It's a big circle. It's folded in half. And you can see that you can put any kind of buttons along there. I posted a picture on Instagram of somebody. I forgot to attach the name of who sent that in. I don't know if it was James or, and if that was your picture, could you please let me know? I need to attach your name to that picture. But this is only available through my Lovecraft store, and there is a complete video tutorial attached to that. It is also in the watch.bonniebaycrochet.com subscriber based channel. I have another channel which is it's a for pay channel. It's $6.95 a month, and it is cheaper if you go by the year, and you get the uninterrupted, completely spam and commercial free viewing of all my videos that are there, and most of the best of the best are there, I think. And you also get a lot of complimentary patterns, so you don't have to go to another store and purchase the pattern or anything. You can just download the PDF to this as well without going anywhere else. So this is a time consuming project. This is like making a throw or an Afghan. It does take as much time as that, because it's big. It takes a lot of yarn too. But anyway, I just wanted to let you all know that that is there. And if you're looking for, maybe somebody wants to, like in our family, people always say, send me your wish list. And so one person in the family will compile people's wish lists for the family, and just to give ideas if people want ideas. But if you're looking for an idea that maybe you feel like you have everything, like most of us probably do these days, but if you're looking for a gift subscription, I do have those available for the Watch channel, if you want to be really generous to people. But even if you just want to check out the channel, it's $6.95 a month, and if you don't like it, you can just cancel. I mean, it's just one of those things. If you haven't looked at it, take a look at it and see what you think. I have a lot of stuff up there, and there are most all of the videos for the book here, and not the PDFs for those, but the book videos for that are available. And as I release new designs, my Watch subscribers always get those complimentary, well, the ones that I own the rights to, and I am doing everything I can to keep the rights to everything that I do going forward. so that I can do that and just maintain control. There was one other thing I wanted to show you. Um, the ladies in our church are studying from this book. We are reading this book, and we're going to be having a breakfast soon to talk about a couple chapters. And I am really, really enjoying this. So I'll show it to you again, but I want to show you to read the name of this book, and it's called Aging with Grace, and the subtitle. This is what I love. The subtitle: Flourishing in an Anti-Aging Culture. How great is that? And it's written by two women who have walked with God for a long time. I believe one or maybe both of them have been pastors' wives, but they are, so one lady is caring for her husband. He, I believe, has dementia of some sort, and so she is his full-time caretaker, and the other woman has been a widow for quite a while. So they're in their upper 80s. They know what they're talking about, and it's written with a lot of grace. And I did put a link in the video description for this. I feel that strongly about this. If you're looking for something, just a read to be encouraged, if you get tired of looking at all those commercials telling you how you don't look good enough, which is a bunch of nonsense if you ask me, or they're just trying. A lot of times people are trying to sell you a service. Oh, that's probably a bad time for me to say that after I'm trying to sell you my crochet service, but anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Your hair's not right, your skin's not right, you definitely need to lose weight, or you're too skinny, or there's something wrong with you. You know how all the ads are always, and I think beating women over the head far more than they do men. Well, although my husband says, I don't know. He says, he gets the messages too. You're not buff enough. You're not this enough. You don't have enough hair on your head. Whatever. We're all getting it, and so anyway, I just think this would be a really fun read. It is written from definitely a Christian worldview, so do you have to keep that in mind. If that's not your worldview, you still may want to check it out, because I just feel really, really encouraged by what I read in here, and just and it also talks a lot about how to finish well. And I know a lot of us, you just, especially coming through a pandemic, a worldwide pandemic. I mean, none of us knows when our days are ending. We don't know. Some of us have an idea, and some of us, it just happens. I did not expect to lose my husband's cousin this week. She had a lot of good years left, but she's gone. So, I mean, just learning to finish well and to do it with grace. Well, I wanted to end with a little reading. I'm reading from an odd place today. Let me explain that. This is the good book, the Bible here. And I hope I can get through this without crying, because I was so encouraged by it. I'm reading in the book of Judges, and specifically in chapter 6. And if you've never read through the account of Gideon, many of you, maybe if you don't read the Bible, you've heard of the Gideon Bibles in hotel rooms. Well, if you want to know where that story comes from, you can read about the real Gideon in chapter 6 of Judges. And so and just I'll go ahead and read this, but I was just really encouraged because of his station in society, which was not a particularly high one at all. It was probably one of the lowest in his culture. And so let me just read, because there's just the fact that God used him in such an amazing way. It just encourages me like crazy. So I hope to encourage you with this as well. And if you read chapter 6, that would be another hour to just talk about that. But go ahead and read the background when I'm done here, and so that you can better understand what was going on. But I will say, in a nutshell, the book of Judges is when Israel keeps going back and forth between being faithful to God and then just abandoning ship, basically, and going off and worshiping idols and other things that are not God, or at least not the God. So it goes back and forth, back and forth, and so God has to get their attention in various ways. Well, this is a time when the people are not following him right now. It's another turning point in a good way. Excuse me. And so God, in the form of an angel, has come to Gideon. He's very surprised, and he basically has told him, you're the one, be the one I'm going to use to save Israel. And then Gideon says to him, please, Lord, how can I save Israel? Behold, my clan is the weakest in Manasseh, and I am the least in my father's house. And the Lord said to him, but I will be with you. I'm going to stop right there. I just, like, so his whole point is, but I'm going to be with you. It doesn't matter how low, if you are the weakest or whatever, but I will be with you. And I'll finish the verse. And you shall strike the Midianites as one man. Basically, you are going to defeat your enemies. So, anyway, that just really got me today. So whenever you're, I think, just feeling down and out, I just have to remember that. It's like, but I will be with you. And later on in the scriptures, Jesus does promise. He says, I will never leave you or forsake you. So it's just a, reiteration of that verse, but I will be with you. So, well, I hope that encourages you today. And thank you so much for staying with me all this time. And I will look at the comments that I missed, and looking forward to seeing you all next week. Have a great one. Bye-bye.